challenging, exhilarating, and joyous all at the same time. Looking back, we may have realized that our memories have shaped our current selves, molded our relationships into what they are today.
As part of our Center Spread issue, tackling age and generations, step back in time with us as students and staff reveal their coming of age stories.
And can you just tell me a little bit about like your experience growing up, and were there any like memorable moments that you felt was like coming of age or affected?
Are we talking about like high school primarily? Okay. So I mean I went to Fremont High School, so our sister school here, and it's a great school. You know, like obviously, the teachers are amazing, and if I had to think about one memory about growing up at Fremont, it would probably be my I think this is my sophomore year, and I was going through some phase in my life where I had to make a pretty tough decision in terms of what I want to do for the future. I mean, you guys do the same too, but my decision was between dropping out of school to train for the Olympic or continue going to school, the outside activities. So I talked to my friends about it. I run my ideas through, like everyone that I trust. Some of the teachers at Fremont actually I have a Japanese teacher over there who's like a Olympian level wrestler. So I came to him and I thought he was gonna support my decision. I was like, like we're both athletics and we're into sport. So I told him that I'm gonna drop out of school for badminton. I thought he was gonna be excited for me, but the first thing he told me was, "Yeah, no, that's a stupid idea." And it's kind of crushed my expectation a little bit, right? So he went through like 15 minutes explaining to me why I don't have to drop out of school and still be able to compete. But at that moment, I felt like he didn't understand where I was coming from. Like yes, his sport and his background is very different from my sport and my background. So I went to a second teacher who I trust, and again I expected some kind of support from them, but unfortunately I got the same exact response where they were kind of shocked that I would make such a like stupid decision to drop out of school. So those two instances, along with like a couple of other friends that I had, conversation go the same direction, and I realized that maybe they have a point.
Do you think of your decision that made you like?
To be honest with you, I think I made the right decision, because I mean I watch kids train like all the time, and our school have a lot of very talented players. They're on the team. I mean they're amazing right now. Okay, I think they're better than me when I was in high school, and still they struggle to make it to the Olympic. And I'm not saying that if you struggle you should quit. I'm just saying that like I didn't think carefully enough, because my family, like I'm the only child, right? So if I fail, I would not be able to take care of my mom, and I think taking care of her would be more important than achieving some egotistical goal that I have.
I think this decision affected like how you think about how you thought about your future afterwards.
Oh, it's definitely changed how I operate, because like we all tend to be blinded by what we want at the moment. We're not really thinking about the long-term impact of it, like how many people rely on you, what else you're missing out on. Like, I mean, you guys know about it, like the opportunity cost, right, of doing something and not being able to do something else. Yeah, like the sustainability of your decision too. Sure, I can definitely play, and I love it then. But I'll be honest with you, right now at this age, I feel like I love everything else that I do, right? And I can barely find the time to play badminton anymore. So you see that my priority changed. So I consider things a lot more carefully now.
And you mentioned a little bit about like the stuff like growing up with your parents. Can you just like tell us a little bit about that and what that was like?
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure to like be good at math, to learn Chinese, to get good grades, to like be organized, and I think there was unspoken pressure to have a certain level of achievement after high school, like going to get a PhD or some sort of professional degree like a MD or a DDS or OD or something like that.
And was this like the whole time as you were growing up?
I think the nature of pressure from your parents changes as you age. Like when I was little, it was like pressure to do well in math, and then like I remember we had to take a speech class, like to do public speaking, and one of the things that we had to talk about was like my future career, and I had interviewed a friend's dad who was a dentist. And so I was like, I think dentistry sounds cool. Like, it sounds like you have a good work-life balance. Maybe I'll go do that. And then that just kind of became this path that I was on. And I never felt like I could reevaluate. Like, it really felt like from that point on, like, I was just stuck on that path. And it was like a freshman year project. Right, so it was like very early in high school. So, yeah, looking back, that's like I wish I had felt like I could reconsider, and I didn't want to do it anymore. But I didn't know how to get off that path because I had never let myself think that before. And when I did let myself think that, it was very like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do, so I'll just stay on this path.
You're talking about like studying in college and also like in high school. What was sort of like, what were you sort of thinking about dentistry?
I wasn't thinking. One thing that sticks out to me is I had a professor in an upper division lab class. So lab classes are smaller than lecture classes. And he pulled me aside and he was like, something's not right here. Like, you have a lot of friends. You're very interested in the lab work. But the work that you turn in, like, something's missing. Like, you're not making the connections. Like, you need to like study differently. And what I realized at the time was that was when I was starting to think like, I'm so tired of doing this. I don't know what to do, and that was causing me to struggle academically because I didn't know how to get off this path. I was really, really depressed, and I needed to make a change. And it was very serious. I don't know if you can put that on a school thing, but like it was. I was very, very depressed, and my husband was like, don't do this job anymore. You can't do this job anymore. You have to find something else. And so it was with the support of my husband that I had the courage to do something different. When I was by myself, I was too scared. I was like, I didn't believe that I could succeed in anything. I just had like very low self-esteem. And then with the support of my husband, I think grew up a little bit.
And if you're comfortable sharing, can you sort of tell us what that journey sort of looked like, or what that time?
It was messy. It was messy. I ended up working for a test prep company for a few years, and that was what made me realize I should just be a teacher. Like, I like working with kids a lot. The only thing that I liked from my research job was working with undergrads, but I didn't want to get like a PhD or anything like that, and so it was a good choice. And I wish I had made it earlier in my life, but it just never occurred to me. I spent many years talking to many different people about how they found their jobs. I think it's really important to tell yourself that things don't always go the way that you plan, and it's okay. Like, it'll probably work out. Fingers crossed. And I think that you should not let yourself get too tied to a specific identity, because you never know. Yeah.
Can you start by describing a memory that you felt had a significant impact on your identity growing up?
There's this one time where I was skating, like just practicing when I was like in 7th grade or something. 7th or 8th grade. I think it was 7th grade, yeah. I was practicing with my friends and it got really late at night and I usually don't practice until like 9 p.m. or something. At that time, like my dad would wake me up. But then I practiced until like 9:30 or something. My dad came into the ice rink and he was just like shouting at me because he saw like my grade book and it was just really bad. There was like B's and everything and it was just middle school and I was like, I didn't think too much of it, but then I just kept thinking to myself afterwards, like when my dad was driving me in the car, that I had to tell myself to lock in and actually get those grades up.
Are there any like maybe memorable moments you've had with like your family that have really helped you like grow?
I don't know, besides just going on vacations, it was just like my mom and I finding out that we're the ones that like to explore and the rest of the family doesn't like to explore and go on vacations, so yeah.
Or maybe any like fond memories in general?
We went to Florida this winter break. It was kind of fun. We went to Miami. We were all chilling on the beach and everything, and that was pretty fun.
How do you feel about like growing up in general and just like transitioning into high school?
Transitioning into high school, I'm like, I think I almost got a hand of it. I mean, I could lock in a little harder, but it's still taking me a while. But growing up in general, I'm just like really unsure. I'm really uncertain of my future, and I don't like that uncertainty. So I just like to just live life right now. I don't like thinking about the future, you know.
Yeah, I think that's definitely really important.
Yeah, it's like I don't want anybody to tell me to worry about my future that much. You know, something I really don't like is when people are like, oh, there's only like 50 days left until the end of high school, or it's like there's only 20 days left until we have another break. Like, I just want to like enjoy like the moment as it is right now instead of worrying about something that might not even happen in the future.
Okay, that's definitely true. What do you think has been like some of the challenges kind of like in growing up? Or just like throughout the years?
Well, for me, it's kind of like I'm maturing a lot faster than my other brothers. So whenever I see them being immature, I can't really like, how do I say this? It's hard for me to just look at them and be and act like the parent or something. Even though I'm the middle child, I should be the one that's also like, I don't know, on the same wavelength as them, if you know what I mean.
Describe any memories or experiences that you felt had a significant impact on your identity throughout high school.
I think joining sports was something that's really significant for me because all the way when I was young throughout middle school, I actually had no experience in athletics at all. But coming to high school, I wanted to try something new, so I started with cross country and basketball, and I decided to continue with basketball for all 4 years. And it was just a really great way for me to learn teamwork as well as improve athletics.
Maybe explain more on how it helps you like grow like as a person.
Yeah, I think it definitely helped me with my people skills because in the future everyone will need to do a lot of networking and knowing how to interact with people is really important. So being with basketball, joining the team, you're around kind of the same people for like every day, 2 hours at least. And it helps grow close bonds and you also kind of get to know each other, and especially on the court as well, getting to know each other well improves team chemistry and that helps with our performance as well.
Were there any maybe like unexpected bonds or like friendships you made in the team?
Honestly, going into sports, I didn't know what to expect. I just wanted to put myself out there and try new things. And I wouldn't say they were unexpected, but the friends I made were definitely memorable, and I think it was definitely worth it. Like, try new things, don't be afraid to start, and don't be afraid of failure. And even if you fail, you always learn something from it. So it's all worth it if you just try it out.
At least when were there any like not even a significant like challenges during like basketball or track?
I think injuries are like really significant, especially last year in basketball. I had a really serious foot injury, and that kind of pulled me out of the game for a very long time, and that was definitely hard to deal with. You still have to go to practices and go to the games, but you basically can't participate because you're injured. So that was serious. That was pretty difficult, but just like for the future, I learned to be a little more careful and also just to be careful with my surroundings.
Wow, that's been a long, arduous, yet rewarding journey where we learn insights from bouncing back after hardship to carving your own path.
Make sure to check out our other Center Spread stories at lhsepic.com and in our print.